Hi everyone. What's up, Brian? How you doing, buddy? Sounded a little bit like Joey from Friends there. How you? Did you guys ever play the game House Party? The how's it going? The staying away from alcohol. Hi everyone. All right, do the thing. Yep, it's that kind of day, folks. Again, a little more subdued though than the last one. I'm not as angry at this one as I was at Praise This, but I didn't. I'm still gonna roast it. Um, the film we are talking about tonight, early tonight, is got a lot done today. This is supposed to be for tomorrow, and I'm like, you know what? I'm up. I'm gonna rip the Band-Aid off. It's Easter. I'll get the Jesus movies out of the way on Easter. So, On a Wing and a Prayer is directed by Sean McNamara. Now, if you don't know who Sean McNamara is, he previously did the cinematic masterpieces that were Three Ninjas, High Noon, and Mega Mountain, Soul Surfer, Baby Geniuses 3, 4, and 5, Cats and Dogs 3, Paws United, Bratz the movie, and more recently, The King's Daughter. So yeah, brilliant cinematic craftsman, if I do say so myself. On a Wing and a Prayer is also made by MGM in collaboration with Amazon Productions and Roma Downey. So what is the film about? Well, Dennis Quaid plays Doug White. He is a pharmacist living with his wife, played by Heather Graham. Dennis Quaid plays him, and their two daughters. They are on their way back from his brother's funeral in a little plane when the pilot keels over from a heart attack. Now up in the air, the family has to survive while various people on the ground try to bring them safely home. Otherwise, fuck the plot. Now, On a Wing and a Prayer, first off, I will say this. In this movie's favor, it's not hateful. So, there you go. That's the one. Secondly, I do believe its heart is in the right place. I don't think it actually has an agenda that is meant to hurt anybody. I don't think that it does have more to it than just the Jesus of it all, the way that Praise This didn't. I actually think Praise This was harder to sit through. And it's also pretty quick paced. I mean, it's short. It's only about 90 minutes or so, sans credits. And that's about it. Because On a Wing and a Prayer, in basically every department that is a film should be, writing, filmmaking, acting, even by actors like Quaid and Graham, who have proven they can be good in the right material. On a Wing and a Prayer is pretty much in every other department a complete and total failure. This is a terrible movie. With a really interesting true story. And it is one of those cases, I feel, where this is a story that, told well, could have been kind of interesting. I do feel like just the idea of, even with Quaid in the lead, the idea of this story of this sort of average Joe who finds his faith again in this life or death situation that he's sort of flung in the middle of, could be kind of interesting as a movie. This is not that movie. Where to begin with this one? Well, first and foremost, all the scenes inside of the plane look like they have just painted the plane around Dennis Quaid. It is such an obviously bad green screen and a cheap one. All the backgrounds look pretty cheap right from the beginning. The acting is across the board pretty atrocious. And it's one of those faith-based movies, and you know, other bad movies do this too, but faith-based movies are particularly guilty of this, where they don't seem to understand how people actually talk. Because all the dialogue in this movie is expositing about who characters are and how they relate to the characters speaking. It's one of those movies where, like, it's not natural. It's not like someone going, like, you know, drinking a beer at a bar or something and just going, like, you know, man, remember, man, talking naturally, it's like all the dialogue is someone, we know that someone is, let's say this, we know someone, say the daughter has, is it asthma? She has some kind of, yeah, she has some kind of disease that she needs. Maybe it's a peanut allergy. I don't know. But the way that we know this in the movie, I honestly don't remember what it was. But the way that we know this is someone says, "Remember to bring the EpiPen," because we all know. No, it's like, but don't forget to bring the EpiPen. You know, we if she has an attack, we want to make sure it's that. It's like that kind of diet. It's like, now back when we were in high school, you were pretty good. It's that kind of dialogue where it's not natural. It's like I am your wife, and when I married you, because I'm your wife. It's that kind of talk, and it's like that's not dialogue. That is very, very, very poor exposition. And unnecessary exposition, because it treats the audience like they're dumb. It treats the audience like they can't pick up on the basic hints that stuff is going on with these characters and what's happening in the plot without them holding the hand of the viewer. The other thing, though, is that McNamara just is not a good director. I'm sorry. I'm sure he's a wonderful gentleman. He cannot make movies. He's not good at it. Like, he's given me multiple chances to prove that he's good at this, and every time he's failed. I think arguably his best movie is maybe Soul Surfer, and even that is not a very good movie. But like everything else I've seen from him has made a worst of list, either on this channel or when I was doing personal lists. Bratz the movie, terrible. The only thing that's memorable about it is the scene with Chet Hanks, rather. I'll have to say, Bratz is almost so bad it's good. That's the closest. Well, a lot of them are. Cats and Dogs 3, terrible. King's Daughter, hilarious, but not a good movie. And it's just, this guy does not know how to make movies. And they keep giving him movies. It's like I don't know what he... And big studio, this is MGM. I mean, it's like in Amazon. Like, why would they give this guy money to make this movie? I don't understand. Was he the only guy who was religious enough to make this that you could find? He's bad at this, guys. This does not look like a movie. Apparently this was the reason it's on Amazon is because this was one of the MGM movies, along with some of the other ones that they put out, like Samaritan, that was gonna be released in theaters, and was put on Amazon instead, like last year. This was going to be in theaters? You know what, honestly, I would hate this more if I saw this on the big screen. Because this does not look like a movie, guys. This looks terrible. This looks worse than a TV movie. The other thing, too, that's really striking is, I'm a big fan of Heather Graham. I'm a big fan of this quaid. Their accents in this, they're playing like Southern husband and wife. Poor Heather Graham. I don't know who told her to do an accent that sounds like Jessica Simpson's accent in the Dukes of Hazzard movie. Like, it's literally like, oh there, Doug. She sounds like Peggy Hill. What's her name? Not Peggy, the niece. What was her name? Brittany Murphy. Luann. She sounds like Luann from King of the Hill. It's like, oh, Doug. Oh, no, you listen there. You listen, sweetie. It's like, oh, Heather Graham, no. The Christopher Walken, no. Come on, Heather. You were in Boogie Nights. And it is kind of one of those instances where it's like, you know what good dialogue is. Why are you doing this? Like, honest to God, why are you doing this? You know you're too good for this shit. You know it. I know it. Paul Thomas Anderson knows it. You were on Scrubs. Scrubs is a good show. Scrubs is well written. Like, that's another good Heather Graham movie. She's actually in a lot of shit. Now that I think of it. Oh, The Hangover. Yeah, The Hangover is a good movie. The first one, anyway. It's like, what? You're capable of more than this. Yeah. Oh, she was in Scream. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but Austin Powers. Like, I mean, you know what you're, you know what good writing is. Um, and it just, I didn't really care. One thing I'll say about this movie is I do think that in that sort of middle section of the movie where they're trying to land the plane, it's at least watchable. Like, it's not, it's badly done, but at least you're kind of the stupid exposition kind of goes away, and we instead just have the sort of plain landing jargon and stuff, which I prefer. Like, at least that there is some tension, but there are characters in this. There are way too many side characters. There's one character. There's these two characters of these two little kids, and the kids, at least the main girl, is not necessarily that bad. She's actually kind of okay. But her friend is a little bit too much. Don't blame the kid. I blame Sean McNamara for that one. I'm sure he's a fine young actor. But the characters, they're kind of useless. They're kind of there to be like, to again, explain to us why the weather pattern is going to be potentially hazardous to them landing the plane. But that's it. They're kind of there, and then they have like a little subplot that just seems to kill time. It's almost like they had a movie that was only about an hour and 12 minutes with this premise, and they're like, we need to fill another half hour so it's feature length. It's like, oh, it's an hour like 42. It's like, oh, okay, well, these kids, they don't really matter. They don't really have any kind of bearing on this. And a lot of the movie, but even that stuff, the somewhat watchable stuff, if it was better made, it's still brought down by the fact that there's a lot of repetitive dialogue. And there's a lot of scenes where Dennis Quaid is just sweating and wheezing and going, I need help, I need help. It's like, we know. Like it's too much. And the two actors who play the daughters are really, really, really mugging a lot, especially the younger one. And then the older one is literally like, she's like one of those teenage characters where her whole gear is, for no reason, is, fucking hate church. Shut up, Mom. Give me my phone. Dad. It's like, shut up, you fucking brat. Like, why am I, like, I don't really care about you. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's bad. This is going to be another short one, probably, but it's just, today, there's not a lot to say about these movies. They're just bad. Just don't watch this movie. Don't see it. If you're a person of faith, Jesus Revolution is still playing. I think in some theaters. Maybe it's available to stream. Oh gosh, Women Talking is now streaming. That's kind of has a religious angle. His Only Son is not good, but it's not good, but at least you'd be supporting, like, good, decent-hearted people. Like, it's not a good movie, and I wouldn't recommend you actually paying to see it, but, like, I kind of would sleep a little better at night knowing someone saw that movie than this one, just because the money I know for sure would go to people who are like, decent. Like David Helling. We're good, by the way, in case you guys haven't seen the updates. But yeah, this movie, I still wouldn't recommend that one either. Just, yeah, Easter pickings are slim. You know what? Go see Air this Easter. Go see Air, or you know what, better yet, if you don't want to go to a movie in a theater and you want to rent one, Smoking Causes Coughing. Like, rent that movie. It's a good, nearly half hour shorter than this. It's great. Just, yeah, don't bother. Or see Mario. Mario was pretty good. And even, you know what? Fuck that. Go see Paint. Paint is underrated. Yeah, this movie's bad. And I'm gonna give it a very, very mild. I was almost considering giving this 1 star, just because, again, I feel bad about kind of bashing it too hard, just because it is a rare faith-based movie that does not have a hateful agenda underneath it. But just in every other, I gotta, yeah, it's just a moderate middle finger of kindness. It's a 0-star movie. There's just no reason to watch this. I wasn't mad at it, but it's not good. Let's put it that way. I've seen movies that have made me angrier than this, but this was not pleasurable. This was cringy. All right. That being said, yeah, 0 stars for this one. Let's close the book on it. Trailer Trash None. Watch it on Amazon Prime Video. I don't know if it's in theaters, but some select theaters, they do that sometimes. If you want to see an Amazon movie, just go see Air. It's like a good movie. That's a great movie, actually. So yeah, Trailer Trash None. Was there trauma? Yeah, there was some footage of the real guy at the end. Alright. That's it. We will be back next week. That's the end of our reviews for the weekend. Next week we will have reviews coming up for Suzume, Mafia Mama, Renfield, The Pope's Exorcist, and maybe one other movie I can't think of right now. But anyway, and then we got Evil Dead Rise coming out. We got Beau is Afraid coming out. Also, for those who want to know, yes, I heard that Return of the Jedi is getting re-released, and you know what that means. We are going to get back on the Star Wars reviews, everybody. I know it's been a good year and a half since we did the Rogue One review, but we're going to do New Hope and Empire Strikes Back within the next couple weeks, at some point before Return of the Jedi. And then when that gets re-released, I'm going to see it on the big screen and review it. And then after that, we are going to, in a shorter amount of time, I promise we will talk about Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker, and sort of wrap this puppy up. But anyway, that's it. Do all the things, like, subscribe. Now, what I want to know is, what did you think of On a Wing and a Prayer? Did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? Think my opinion's good? Think I'm full of shit? Comment below, let me know. And until we meet again, we're all raised on popcorn. Make mouth extra butter. Catch you guys next time. Happy Easter, everybody. Take care. Bye.